The late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol this week, the first woman ever accorded that honor. The Supreme Court justice died at the age of 87 last Friday from pancreatic cancer after serving on the high court for 27 years.
Duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was the second woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. Known as a trailblazer, Ginsburg tied for first in her class at Columbia Law School and will likely be remembered for her work in bringing down legal barriers to women's advancement in American society. Justice Ginsburg was also a friend to an unlikely fellow Supreme Court judge, the late Justice Antonin Scalia. While Ginsburg, who is Jewish, did not always see eye to eye with Scalia, a conservative judge and Roman Catholic, their friendship bridged their ideological divide.
And what's not to like? Except her views of the law, of course.
But Ginsburg, or RBG as she came to be called, is also an icon for abortion advocacy groups. The late justice consistently penned opinions in favor of abortion and contraception, and in a rare move for judges, Ginsburg even openly voiced her support for abortion during her 1993 Senate confirmation hearing.
This is something central to a woman's life, to her dignity. It's a decision that she must make for herself. And when government controls that decision for her, she is being treated as less than a fully adult human responsible for her own choices.
Joining us now from Capitol Hill is Senator Mike Lee of Utah. He is a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee and is also on President Trump's list of potential Supreme Court nominees. Senator, welcome back. First, can you share your thoughts on the passing of the late Justice Ginsburg?
Justice Ginsburg was a talented, gifted lawyer and jurist. She rendered opinions that I sometimes agreed with and often did not agree with. Nevertheless, I admire her skill and her contribution. My thoughts and prayers are with her and her family.
Senator, both you and your brother, Associate Utah Supreme Court Justice Thomas Lee, are on the president's list of potential Supreme Court nominees. President Trump has indicated he is going to nominate a woman, but if he were to offer it to you, would you accept?
Sure. It's not something I would turn down. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be my brother. It is going to be Amy Coney Barrett, I believe. And if it is, I will wholeheartedly support that nomination.
As you mentioned, Senator, two judges considered to be frontrunners to replace Justice Ginsburg are judges Amy Coney Barrett and Judge Barbara Lagoa, both of whom are Catholic women. Senator, we've seen multiple instances of some of your Democratic colleagues on the Senate Judiciary Committee, including now Vice Presidential nominee Kamala Harris, question judicial nominees over issues related to their Catholic faith. What is your message to your colleagues on the Senate Judiciary Committee if they are planning to raise concerns over a nominee's Catholic faith?
First of all, there are two independent provisions of the Constitution that prohibit that. Article 6 of the Constitution prohibits us from imposing religious tests, and the Establishment Clause, together with the Free Exercise Clause of the First Amendment, also would suggest that would be inappropriate on our part. The religious beliefs of a nominee need to be respected. They are sacred, and they're none of the Judiciary Committee's darn business. So if they do raise that, they will do so at their own peril. I don't know whether they can resist the impulse to do that. There is an impulse among many progressive members of the left. Nonetheless, if they do that, it's only going to turn people off, and it's only going to strengthen our resolve to confirm this nominee.
You support a quick vote on the president's Supreme Court nominee. Senator, can you put into context how significant you think this moment in history is for the pro-life movement and the courts?
It's a very significant moment. President Trump has campaigned promising to appoint textualists, originalists to the Supreme Court. People in the pattern of Justice Scalia, for whom Amy Coney Barrett clerked, Justice Alito, for whom I clerked, and Justice Thomas. And Amy Coney Barrett is squarely in that pattern and is someone who could serve on the court for 30, 40, who knows, 50 years. She will have a very significant impact on the court, and that impact will include making rulings on all kinds of issues that are important to the American people.
What are assurances you want to hear, Senator, from the Supreme Court nominee when it comes to his or her judicial stance on Roe versus Wade?
Typically, a nominee won't refer to taking a position on a particular line of reasoning or a particular decision, particularly if it's a frequently litigated line of cases. There are judicial canons of ethics that preclude them from doing so. And so that kind of commentary usually isn't possible, and many would say nor would it be desirable in a judicial confirmation hearing, particularly where the nominee is herself a sitting federal judge. Nonetheless, one can look at a particular nominee's writings, scholarship, opinions in the case of a sitting jurist, and discern something about how that nominee approaches the law, whether she's there to interpret the law based on what the law says, as we would want, or on the other hand, whether she's there to reinterpret the law and remake it in her own image as she wishes it had been written. The former is appropriate, the latter is inappropriate.
We are expecting this Supreme Court confirmation to be contentious. Senator, how much of this national divide do you think ultimately comes down to Roe v. Wade at the Supreme Court?
Certainly a lot of it surrounds Roe v. Wade and the contention that the Supreme Court injected into the political discussion in this country at the time that it decided to take this debatable matter beyond debate, a matter best suited to a political conversation within the political branches, primarily to occur within the states and not the federal government in 1973. So, yeah, the Supreme Court unquestionably politicized itself when it did that. Unfortunately, it was neither the beginning nor the end of the leftist politicization of the judicial branch of government. And that's one of the reasons why this nomination is so important.
President Trump said he will make his announcement on Saturday. Who would you say your pick is on his list of potential nominees?
The president's considering some very talented individuals, and I believe he should pick, and I believe he will pick, Amy Coney Barrett, a judge serving on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit in Indiana. I think she's the right one. While he has not made his announcement, my own prediction is that that's who he will pick.
Well, we will all be watching closely. Senator Mike Lee of Utah in the Senate Judiciary Committee, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Joining us now via Skype is Prudence Robertson, Communications Associate for the Susan B. Anthony List. Welcome, Prudence. First, what's your reaction to the death of the late Justice Ginsburg?
Yes, well, first, on behalf of the entire SBA List team, we offer our sincere condolences to the family of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and we are praying for the repose of her soul. We recognize this moment as very profound historically, and we see it as a pivot point for our movement and for our nation and for unborn children. With Ruth Bader Ginsburg being a reliable pro-abortion vote for the past 27 years, with her passing, we see an opportunity to protect life in a stronger way on the court by filling this vacancy with a strong pro-life justice. So we are deeply encouraged, and we are energized and ready to confirm a new justice and fill this seat as quickly as we can.
Prudence, I understand your group's president, Marjorie Dannenfelser, spoke with President Trump this week about the Supreme Court. What did he have to say, and what can you share with us?
Yes, Marjorie and the president did speak, and we established that we are on the exact same page with the president in agreeing that this seat needs to be filled before the election. Marjorie and the president discussed his list of potential Supreme Court nominees, a list that's filled with all stars, and we've identified that Judge Amy Barrett is a particularly great candidate for this position. She has already been vetted, and she's known to the pro-life grassroots. And seeing her nominated and eventually confirmed to the court would really serve as such a balm to pro-lifers, especially persuadable pro-life voters who aren't sure whether or not they are going to vote for President Trump in the coming weeks. Seeing her confirmed, or truly any of the judges on the list, would remind us all of President Trump's continued fulfillment of his promise to confirm pro-life judges and justices, and the fact that he's come through on so many other promises to the pro-life movement.
Prudence, speaking of the president, President Trump made a pro-life announcement at the National Catholic Prayer Breakfast this week, saying he is going to sign a Born Alive executive order. What more can you tell us?
Well, Catherine, we are very thankful to the president for taking this bold action. And through this, he really is simply advocating for the protection of all babies, especially and including babies that are born extremely prematurely. And in addition, reminding people that parents have a right to demand protection for their unborn children and children that are born, regardless of the circumstances of that birth. So we're very grateful for this bold action and, President Trump's unprecedented protection of life.
Prudence, looking forward ahead in the next few weeks, everyone is expecting a contentious Supreme Court confirmation battle. How much of this divide comes down to Roe versus Wade, do you think?
Well, it's clear that Roe v. Wade is on the line here, and that really just underscores the fact that pro-abortion Democrats, they have everything to lose here. And just as a reminder, at the end of the battle to confirm Justice Kavanaugh to the court, Professor Blasey Ford's lawyer even came forward and admitted that Professor Blasey Ford came forward with her story specifically because of Roe versus Wade. So it really is true that Roe v. Wade is a determining factor here, and that pro-abortion leaders have everything to lose. And that's why we see them, they've already said that nothing is off the table in terms of stopping this confirmation. They've already said that they're going to try to stack the courts and even try to impeach the president again. But pro-lifers must not flinch, and we must continue to pray for the courage to fight this fight and to win.
This will be something we're watching closely in the coming weeks. Prudence Robertson with the Susan B. Anthony List, thank you.
Thanks so much.